My name is Jacob Adams. I'm a fitness and leadership coach. I help people just like you get to the next level, whether it's in the gym, breaking that new PR, getting that new personal record, building muscle, burning body fat, dialing in on nutrition and a supplement program, and here on YouTube, helping people get that breakthrough mentally with whether it's developing a mindset or a new way of seeing things, developing a new perspective. Have you heard of the saying, it's always darkest before the dawn? One of my favorite Florence and the Machine songs, I think it's called, it's one where she goes, shake it off, shake it off, I think something like that. And regrets collect like old friends. And every demon wants its pound of flesh. And I like to keep some things to myself. I like to keep my issues drawn. It's always darkest before the dawn. And that's one of the key choruses in that song. It's one of my favorite songs. And you know what? I'm sure that if you relate to that, you may be experiencing like a heavy body, just this unable to get out of bed with such a chipper attitude, right? I know that's how I felt. We can feel like our body's just so tired, and we can talk to family and friends and stuff like that, but it's just like there's a funk in our body. And we find ourselves praying. If you are a believer like myself, you may find yourself praying and asking the Lord for answers and guidance and meditating. And you may be feeling like things are unfair, and why that's what I feel like. Are you serious? Can this situation really be happening? I'm a good person. I do my best work. I have a good attitude. I bring the joy, and I do the coaching, and I always am looking to make a positive impact in the world. It's not fair. And we can find ourselves praying to God, praying to the Lord for guidance, for something, right? Like, give me a breakthrough, Lord, bless me. And, I find myself, for example, listening to Joel Osteen for sometimes 2 hours, and even though I know his message of, I'm a child of God, and God is granting me favor, and God, it's your favorite, thanking the Lord for his breakthroughs and his blessings. Sometimes we still find the inability to get that breakthrough. It's slow coming sometimes, or we know it's on the horizon, that we know the dawn will come. But when, right? Those are these feelings that we get. And this is me, confessing to you, these are the feelings I get. And I've spoken in the past, in the last month or so, about how I've been dealing with some heavy stuff. And, sometimes in situations like this, when we're waiting for the dawn, we could see that in our personal life. Maybe we're single, like I'm single right now, and getting back out there in the dating world is kind of weird. We're living in a time where people kind of, Nicole Arbor, I posted this years ago, and it came back in my Facebook stories, like a shared memory. And she's talking about how people are so busy pretending that they don't like each other for the sake of not seeming clingy or just weird. There's so much psychological weirdness in the dating world. And when you're already going through some weird shit in your life, whether it's financial struggles or family struggles, the last thing you need is a relationship struggle. And that is where we're at, though. We're at this place where relationships as a whole, in general, regardless of how things are going, they could be going great financially. They could be going great on a spiritual level for yourself inwardly. And then currently, the date is May 1st, 2019, and it's a weird time to be single because there's a polarity of sexes in a way. the battle of sexes is more prevalent than ever, it seems. And this is coming from somebody that never really wanted to see that. I never really wanted to see that as a thing, but it seems that that is where we're at. And here, you could be waiting like myself for breakthrough, for God's favor, for God's blessing. And not to say that he's not. I mean, I have health, I have a well-lit room right now. I'm going to go to work, I'm going to go train, and I have muscle and I have health. And so I'm blessed to a good degree. I'm talking about the breakthroughs that will allow abundance, right? The breakthroughs that will allow a true joy that is cultivating both inwardly and outwardly. That breakthrough, and to get rid of some of the heavy stuff in whether it's family life, whether it's in your business life. I'm saying that breakthrough. And you may be, for example, a collection of all of these feelings. Maybe you also see that like your career isn't where you want it to be. Like, I know that that's where I'm at. And part of the reason I've developed my YouTube channel is to reach out and make a bigger impact, because our career and our business life is never going to get bigger than the impact we make. And so that's what I'm seeing as in my personal life, and you may see so too, that as we are looking for and working on the breakthroughs of our life, right, for the dawn to happen, for the, we're in the dark, and, we're waiting for that big thing where it all comes together. How do we... It's clear that we can. It's clear that we can make it. But how do we make it go faster? Or how do we get through it in a more together method? That's where I'm at currently. And if you're in this position like me, sometimes we may have to look at what is our end goal, right? In other words, we understand that, it doesn't feel good to be in the dark, the metaphor, in the dark, in the pit, in the struggle. It doesn't feel good. And we know that we want something like an abundance, a feeling that things are being managed and mastered, and we are in control of the outcome to a big and large degree. And there's energy in our body, right? There's energy and vibrancy in our body, and we're eating the right foods that make us feel good. We have enough fun foods like pizza or burgers or whatever it is that you like. We can visualize that is in our future. We can visualize ourselves getting there because we've been there before. We can visualize that we have a partner, a loved one, or maybe dating a handful of people that we're having good communications with, good intimacy with. We can visualize that as a true possibility. And we can visualize that there's a deep connection to God within us. I mean, we know that that is the end goal, and that our finances are managed enough and growing at a steady rate enough so that that's taken care of. We know that that's the end goal, and we find ourselves in this darkness. So while these two things are existing, one in our vision and one in our current perspective, how do we make that jump? Before I got on here today, I wrote down, I did what's called the stack in Warrior, Mega Stack, and I was analyzing a situation. And when it all came down to it's why I'm making this video. It's that the message I got from the situation that sort of upset me is that the dawn is coming, and I'm doing everything I can. Like, I could have easily said, hey, you know what, things aren't going great, I'm not going to make a YouTube video, who knows what's the point, and is this really that important to make a YouTube video? What is the point, you know? And the reason I'm making the video is that there's an element of faith in the action to stand up and trust the process. You know, I look back at 2016 when I started the YouTube channel, for instance, take this one thing, the YouTube channel, and you know, I had nowhere to gauge where that was going. I started a online course on evolutiontraining.net. Don't go there because that's no longer available. And you know, sales were not going as planned on the course, and I had such high hopes for that course, and I saw it kind of like just fall apart. And it was a labor of love, you know. I felt so good about it. I was like excited. I thought, wow, this is gonna be awesome. And I adapted. I said, okay, well, this is gonna fall apart and it's not gonna go as planned. Let me just continue making videos. And I trusted that process at the time. And here I am, you know, I've seen an increase of 270 subscribers at the making of this video from, you know, 5 or 10 subscribers, you know, for the course of 3 years. One of those years I did almost nothing. I'd say in 2017. I didn't do much. So let's say I continue to trust a process through that challenging time. And so in order to get through the two places of better and not so good, you have to continue to trust the process. That's what I've discovered. That when you understand that there's two things, two big gaps, you have to continue to trust the process. And that feeling of like, okay, well, I already know, trust the process. I already know I should trust the process. It's almost crazy how much that simple idea and practice will continuously be the answer. Like, trust the process, trust the process, trust the process. Like, I teach that all the time, but it's so challenging sometimes. Like, as life gets more, the longer you live, the more challenging it gets. Like, I've been training since 2003 clients. I'm already like at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, like 15, 16 years. I don't even want to count. Like, this is a lot of years trusting the process of training, right? Here I am trusting the process, I'm going to train today, trust the process, trust the process. I'm going to train my body, trust the process. I sell supplements year after year, trust the process, trust the process. Make YouTube, trust the process, trust the process. You know, improve the videos, improve not only making videos, but trusting the process of improving skills on making the videos. Like, let's just say you see this video, you're like, well, I think you need more work. I think your videos suck. It's like, okay, well, I still got to trust the process, trust the process. There's something in your life, if I looked at it, you know, that maybe your bench press, for example, is really low, right? But you're going to have to trust the process and keep building that chest. Regardless of what I say or anyone says, you're going to have to keep trusting the process, trusting the training, trust the training, trust the training. And so you say you're at here, and the next level is 200 pound, 225 pound bench press, or maybe 300 pound bench press. Well, you're going to have to trust that process to get to that next level. You know, to say that March and April have kicked my ass emotionally, mentally, financially, family, relationships. Dude, I think that March and April fucking had their way with me in every way, every possible nook and cranny of my life, you know. And here I am, still trusting the process, looking and waiting for the dawn, praying for the dawn, for the breakthrough. You know, it's not to say that, like, I can't. Like, I've already done great things in the gym. So now it's like expansion and making an impact and reaching a global audience. Like, that's my next big goal. Like, a global audience of a select group of people, whether it's, you know, men who ages 24 to 35, right? That might be like the ideal group that I connect with. But how am I supposed to go about that? Is it just creating the content? Is it just making good videos, speaking from my heart? Is it just that? Trust the process, trust the process, trust the process. You know, I'm headed towards 300 videos. And like I said, I'm only giving you one aspect. Like, it's not just like, oh, Jacob wants to make an impact and he's just talking about it. No, I'm talking like every area of my life, it seems like it needs growth. Whether it's relationships, that area needs growth. I need to start dating again. I need to make connections again in the dating world. Like, that's an area of my life. Financially, I'm sort of at a plateau. I need to get to the next level, right? Family-wise, family issues are there. I don't want to get into them too much, but they are present. And it's like, okay, you know, spiritually, I still don't meditate 2 times a day. That's one thing I could immediately change. I meditate once a day. You know, after I get off the video here, I'll meditate. You know, and the thing is that I'm not complaining. I'm actually showing you like the inner struggles that happen. You know, like the inner struggles that happen inwardly through this, in this life. The challenge to expand mentally, physically, in relationships, spiritually. The challenge to truly break ground. And then not only the challenge that exists, but sometimes the downward pull of challenges. So you add that together and it's like, damn. Damn. I would say if I looked at my life, if I rewind the time and go, let's say it's 2009, I've got things figured out. I'm confident. I know, you know, what I'm about and stuff. And I have like an arrogance to me, a slight arrogance. Not fully arrogant, but just arrogant enough. I think that the difference between me then and now is that I, in many ways, was avoiding a deep humbling before God. And currently now, as I am in front of the camera now, I see myself more like a being, like a true, honest man that is not so arrogant and not just trying to come across a certain way. I'm just really looking to make peace with who I am and not, like, what's the word? Have an image that isn't really me. Like, this is really me. You may not know every detail of the struggle, but you know I'm struggling. Does that make sense? You might know every single minutia of data, but you know I'm struggling. And that's what I'm getting at. Maybe the 2009 me would have not been so sincere in this humility. And now, I don't know, I guess I really want to connect with people that are authentically looking to grow and be themselves and push through their gut, through their soul, through their body, through like an integrity, alignment of self and being. Like, you crave that after some time. You don't want to play a game about how you come across. You don't want the image to be what people buy. You want people to buy who you are. Like, this is really who I am. So when you subscribe, for example, like, that means a lot, because this is really me. It's not an image. It's not what I think you'll like. The best thing I could tell you is trust the process, one, and look to God for answers, faith, gratitude for the favor that He's already blessing with you so you can get more of the same. I think that that's the hardest thing to do, and that's why people may not do it. But that is what I have. That's my best answer. Continue to develop the skill. Trust the work. Do the work. Trust the process that you have in front of you. Use your best mentality. Write down a strategy. Write down what you're going after today and get to it. For me, was one of the things I had to do was make this video, and here I am. And the only thing I could speak about is what's going on right now. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the struggle, on your struggle. Share, subscribe, do whatever you got to do. Peace.